Tired of listening to sports shows with all the woke bullshit? So are we. This is Patriot Sports Radio. Patriot Sports Radio. Fed up with the national talking heads and biases of mainstream sports media. If it's sports from the high school level to the pros, we're talking about it like the red-blooded Americans we are.
God bless America.
God bless America.
God bless America.
Let's do this. And now, here's Eric, Angela, John, Chris, and the coach.
Welcome back, my friends. If you are new, then welcome in Patriot Sports Radio. My name is Eric. I am your host, but you knew that already. Almost all the people the big voice guy said are coming are going to be here. Angela is...
in the Big D.
Yep, that's where she's at. She's out there globetrotting.
You can't just say that in the Big D 2023. She's in the dick, boys. Nope. In Dallas.
The land of,
Dallas.
That's right.
The land of Longhorns and Cowboys. Yeah.
Fake boobs.
So, Coach is on his way back
Well,
from
that ain't no
Chili's.
shit.
So he'll be here at some point, which is great because I want to ask him if he's ever had a Jets type team where the offense or the defense hated the offense. But one thing we do know, Jordan Love, definitely the guy. Last 5 weeks, basically since we started saying put Sean Clifford in, Jordan Love has a 106.3 passer rating, whatever that means. I still don't know what goes into the passer rating. I have Newt yards per attempt. 78.2% adjusted completion percentage. That adjusts for drops, so it assumes that the easy ones would have been caught. 11 touchdowns to just 2 interceptions. And he beat Detroit and Kansas City. 69 first downs created. Nice. He's going to want $40 million a year. We should just give it to him. Don't you think, Chris?
Yes. Yep. Exactly right. Just give it to him.
Yeah. Nice 5 years. What, 5 times 4 is 20? You get him for 5 years for $200 million. That's peanuts in today's NFL.
Whoa, wait. Say that again, homie.
He's going to want like $40 million a year.
Well, yeah, but we're going to pay him like $50 an hour, right?
On the hour, every hour. No.
That's a going rate. What's the going rate?
Burrow's making an average of 55.
Well, he
All right, what's the going rate for quarterbacks that play? What's the going rate?
What did Daniel Jones get? Because he's walking in saying, I need at least Daniel Jones money, regardless of how ridiculous that contract is. Just for optics.
Daniel Jones got 40.
Holy
right?
fuck, they're going to score 80 points.
Dak is making 40. Kirk is making 35. Jordan Love currently making 13. Tannehill's making 29.5 a year.
Ooh.
So put him in that. I mean, Derek Carr makes 37.5. He's better than Derek Carr. He's not quite Dak Prescott. Maybe he's better than Dak Prescott.
Yeah, he might be better.
But
Dak only has one more playoff victory.
Yeah. Daniel Jones, Dak Prescott, Matthew Stafford all making $40 million. I could see Jordan Love 38 to 42 range. He makes more money than Bryce Young, number one pick. Well, I guess he's been in the league for a few years. That's true. Yeah, Joe Burrow, $55 million a year. Justin Herbert, they're going to – I mean, at what point are you like, hey, we're paying $52 million. Like, we can't keep giving you $100 zillion defense, buddy. If you can't these guys.
At what point are we going to draw a line in the sand with the salary cap? I think we're reaching the point where you're seeing it with a lot of teams. Once you pay that quarterback, you better draft perfectly because, I mean, no offense, you guys just beat Pat Mahomes. The Lions beat Pat Mahomes. The Broncos beat Pat Mahomes. He doesn't have anybody to throw to. For a while, they were up in the top of the league with drops. I mean, there's got to be some sort of give and take. There's going to have to be hometown discounts, something. Some smart player will do the Tom Brady route and say, pay me a little bit less, give me somebody to throw to.
Yeah. You could still take 25 a year and be giving them a massive discount to go get a $20 million receiver.
Right. Because, the formula is reaching, I think, its peak at this point in terms of the quarterback pay when you actually have to shell out versus the salary cap. Now, if the salary cap jumps up and quarterback pay flattens out a little bit, I think you'll see that. But good God, they're making so much freaking money. It's kind of a joke. And we just go along with it.
You can have the $50 million, but you're going to have Marquez Valdez-Scantling and Sky Moore out there catching balls for you.
No, that's fine if you draft perfectly and you're like the Packers or the Steelers that can draft wide receivers year after year and get great value at a discount. That's great, but that puts a lot of pressure on your GM the minute you sign a $40 to $50 million a year quarterback.
Yeah, the clock really starts ticking at that point. We're going to have to figure it out. I don't see how even if he face plants the last few games, I don't think they'd move on from him unless they got a crazy good draft pick. But I mean, the Carolina Panthers have still only won one football game.
They're a dumpster fire. They have a stupid owner.
Yeah.
No coach is going to want to go there.
Yeah, I guess that rumors about Frank Reich being undermined all the time, and apparently it's a very unhealthy working environment out there.
Yeah.
Playing with a 5'9" kid.
And I tell you what, they can keep tanking. That's great for the Bears, except when you start to read stories that Marvin Harrison Jr. might not come out. Caleb Williams might not come out. Some of these things, it's like, hold on. You got to be kidding me, man.
Wait. But you said now that they're making $8-9 million in college, like there's no rush to get to the NFL. You know, you can twist your ankle and be all right. Oh, collared shirt, and he's back. Welcome, coach.
Y'all, guys. Woo!
What do we got?
To tell you.
What do you got?
So you got to know a little something about the coach, okay? Chris knows in the core of my DNA, I am from South Logan County, and I am at my core a cheap person. We were just
talking about
long line.
We were just talking. We
come from a
offline,
long line and not having nothing. Like
offline, we were just talking. I was just telling John that me and Coach growed up in South Logan County, and we didn't have it like these kids have it.
Yeah, no. I'm going to tell you right now. You know, my biggest fear in life is sitting down at a table where there's not enough food for everybody to eat. Like it's a real fear that I have, and to the point where I will tell you, anytime that I cook at my house, it drives my wife crazy because I'll cook for a square mile. I mean, I don't cook a little bit of anything. I mean, my dad used to tell me when we would go, we would talk about having dinner. And he'd be like, it's not going to be very good, but there'll be a lot of it. And so, you know, and that was the key. We always, you know, I just, it's a big fear of mine. So
you don't have to like it, but you're not going to go hungry.
That's exactly right. And so long story short, the old coach likes to do a little Christmas shop. And the other day I take my lovely wife out to a place across town, and we hit a casino and we have a little hit the steak joint there, the little Brazilian steakhouse. It was pretty sure it was chock full of MSG because I left there
bloated,
feeling like somebody needed to stab me and just let the air. I was terrible.
Can't squeeze your hand together.
Oh, it was miserable. So moral of the story is, on my way home, I come home and I get to the house and I go to kick off my boots that I've had for going on probably about 10 years. And the old sole comes off the Ariats. Just comes off while I take them off. I mean, literally just shells. So me being the thrifty guy I am, I get on the old interwebs and I find me a little shoe cobbler. And right. I start calling around to try to get the old Ariats resold because they're good quality item. Well, they hit me with the $85 resold on that. And I said, no can do. So I start hitting the old Facebook marketplace looking for me a new pair of boots, and I'll be damned if $85 don't get you quite a bit on the black market boot budget. So
Yeah.
I found
Good
a
evening,
nice
Heather.
pair of knockoff ostriches, and so tonight I come home and I tell my lovely bride, "Hey, let's load up in the Ford Focus and go over to 7400 South Shields in the Home Depot parking lot." I send this guy a message, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm down here off Shields." And I said, "You got a shop down there?" And he goes, "Yeah, sorta." And I don't even think much about it.
That's a garage.
I sent him a message. I'm
That's
like,
personal garage.
tell me where this place is. He's like, "That's 7400 South Shields. It's Home Depot parking lot." I'm like, "You're effing serious. This is a Home Depot parking lot. I'm going to meet somebody in the Home Depot parking lot."
Yeah.
So we do. And of course, my wife is the whole time like, you are a real
These are
piece
stolen,
of work, sir.
first of all.
Yeah,
Like,
I
watch
listen,
those murder shows. This
we're
is
not
a
asking
ham.
questions about where they
show
come
up to a
from.
place
They're
like
damn
this, you
good
get
looking
murdered.
boots. So I meet, and listen, the old coach is I've scratched gravel a time or two. I'm not afraid to talk to
You got your
people.
knife.
I'm well social, so it doesn't bother me to venture down 7400 South Shields at this time of darkness. That doesn't concern me, but yeah, so I drive the old Focus Testarossa down there because it's across town. I wanted to save money on gas. I've got a nice pickup in the garage, but that was unnecessary because it was across town. So we get down there, and of course, I'm trying boots on in the parking lot of the Home Depot. And of course, then I hit my father-in-law up. He decides he wants a pair because they're pretty damn nice. So the guy's got to leave and go to his house and come back with some more pair. This turns into about a 2-hour project. Anyhow, got a nice pair of ostriches. I'll go get them here in a minute to show you.
New boot goofing.
Cost me a Ben Franklin.
This
All right.
That's nothing.
So then, right next door to that, of course, it's getting the time of night where we got to eat. And my wife's one of those people that don't. You can literally have about 27 minutes after feeding hour, and then she's just a different person. So I got to go to the Brahms next door and get her some crinkle cuts. So we get the crinkle cuts, we get the Brahms, we got the boots. We're headed back to the west side of town in the Focus Testarossa. It's a good night. I got to the house here. My wife's like, you're really something. I said, you got all of it, babe. You got it all. All that. You get it.
Coach, let me tell you something.
Who said on a Thursday night that you wouldn't go across town and risk your life for some ostrich boots?
You knew
Let me
when
tell
you
you
drafted
something,
this
guys.
player that I make
This
off
guy
schedule
will.
plays.
That's right.
I call audibles. I make moves. I don't live in an ivory tower. I make moves from down here.
That's right.
So anyhow, I'm gonna let you marinate that for a second. I'm gonna go get these boots because I want to show you
I'm excited.
the barn find that I came home with.
There you go.
Barn find. I
Yeah,
gotta see it.
that's what it is. I
Now,
don't
Coach,
know. Look,
that probably
I-
feels very strange to a man of your generation. And one weird thing that us millennials do is shit like that all the time. Because you know what? Millennials are broke. We're all poor too. So Facebook Marketplace, if you meet
I
any
love it.
woman between the age of 25 and 35, she's on Facebook Marketplace for a half hour to an hour every day, just scrounging. And let me tell you, it's
Hey.
gotten to the point where apartment complexes like mine and others, they have a designated area that is quote unquote safe. So that this is where you meet to exchange goods
Oh, I
on
like it.
Facebook Marketplace. It's genius because we're not paying top dollar for anything anymore. Why would you do
I'm
that?
with you.
I just
No.
discovered Facebook
Yeah.
Marketplace. I bought
Listen.
a car and a washing machine now. And the
Yeah,
car,
Listen,
I bought that in
As-
Oklahoma. Well, actually, Coach found that shit. That was in Oklahoma.
well, Chris knows because we went through about 6 months of paperwork to get that through the red tape.
That's
But let me
right.
tell
You
you
know,
something.
and we
saved
got that off Marketplace, too.
$20,000. We saved
Yeah, yeah.
$20,000. No bullshit.
Yeah, we did, but it took 6 months to get
It
through the
did.
red tape and a lot of inspections. But so
Dude, I
So-
sold my apartment on Facebook Marketplace
That's
because you
fucking
won't get
awesome.
like you got a couch, $50, $100. It adds so much it's so much value in that because
I-
somebody somewhere, there's some college kid that wants to pay $50 for a TV from 1999. Yeah, they'll do that. That's great.
Well, and I honestly, I really wish that I could get rid of Facebook and just keep the marketplace.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit about having Facebook, but I love the marketplace. Like it's what keeps me going. Like
how
I'll
could
spend 2 or 3 hours a day on there.
How could any parent, and be honest, in a middle class family afford any travel baseball or travel softball, just the bats? Without
Yeah,
Facebook
can't do it.
Bats
Marketplace?
alone are like
Can't do it.
$250.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that dude cracks me up on that YouTube video where he's like, we got $4,000 worth of bats in the dugout and 2 hits.
That's true. Hey, I went in my son's room in high school and said that. I go, we got $2,700 worth of bats
And no
on the wall. And
bullshit.
you're a
Was
pitcher.
like that.
You're-
And
You're a pitcher.
Yeah.
And what'd you do? One at a time. They were gone.
Yeah.
Yep. That's
Oh, yeah, you
That's
stole
just
them all.
one of those things culturally, like Uber getting in the car with a stranger. It's totally normal now. There's nothing weird about being like, you got the stuff. Yeah. All right. Let me Venmo you. And we're off doing our own thing. I mean, it's funny. It's gotten so accepted that, I'm handing off a coffee maker to, a 23-year-old woman who's just like, yeah, I'll meet some random guy and it'll be fine. Because for the most part, it is.
You guys
but-
are the hitchhikers of our generation. Like nobody would dream about hitchhiking anymore. But
All right,
No,
gentlemen.
yeah.
I don't know if you have purchased a set of ostriches recently, but they're not.
Oh, we got an unboxing. We
not
got a
cheap.
coach unboxing.
The people are loving A, the stories, and B, the ostrich boots, Coach. I think we might
if
just
you
need to make
could-
a Coach and Stories show.
I can tell you right now, if we could hit on all the senses, I'm smelling new leather right now. It's tantalizing my nose.
Okay.
This is how you know you got quality right here, gentlemen.
Home Depot parking lot.
Oh, vacuum seal.
I'm seeing cowboy
Yeah,
boots
what brand
wrapped
are
in
those?
plastic.
Holy crap. You weren't kidding.
No,
Bro, you got to go back to Home Depot. A
do they
10.
got little ostrich
A
bumps on them?
10E, please.
Oh yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah,
That
that's
definitely
awesome.
fell off the back of a truck.
Now that's a
Now
boot.
you tell me right now. Listen, these were so nice when I put them on. They felt good.
What was that
So,
man's
let me
name
show
that
you what I
sold
got
those to you?
Let me show you what I
Okay.
got my father-in-law.
They did not exchange names.
No.
No names.
No,
When you
no.
when
Although
you
he
decided
did
to buy a
say
second
if
pair
I-
from the man in the Home Depot parking
He
lot,
did
you
say
get
if
a
my
deal?
father-in-law didn't like it or needed a different size to hit him up.
Well,
Yeah.
your buddy up in Wisconsin needs you to hit him up. They are fake. Fake. That
He said he's been in
you know
business
he
for
grew-
6 years.
You know he grew up with money. Heavy Steps did. They're fake.
Oh,
Yeah, we don't know what fake or
How do
real
you-
is.
how do
They're fucking ostrich.
Show us the box.
look at these.
Yeah, you could
These
you
are
could
even
stab
better.
a regular boot with a pen and tell me it's ostrich, and I'd probably believe
Oh,
you.
wow.
Look at that.
They are.
I think The Undertaker wore those.
Hey, dude, let me see
Yeah.
the tops of those. Let me see the top. Those are badass. What
Yep.
what brand are those? Do they have a brand in them?
Nakota.
Jim's
Nakota.
Nakota.
Jim's boots.
I like it. And that's
On
what you
the
call a
sport,
road
Derek.
win.
That there's
Yep,
American
that's
craftsmanship.
exactly right.
And to answer Heavy Steps' previous comment, no, I did not have a date tonight. It was this is a jacket I wore to work. Came straight from work.
Heather's
It's a
concerned
Thursday
the
jacket.
It's
rain
it's
is
my
gonna
smoking
ruin 'em.
jacket. Hey, everybody's being a naysayer, and you know what? I've come across some extremely high value things through
I'll tell you this. I just
back
Googled
channels.
them. I Googled this boot. There it is.
look at that.
All right.
Dakota men's Java Square ostrich. $225.
Yeah,
No cents.
those fell off the back of a truck.
Those
We
are
don't
hitting
know
the
where they
lick,
come from.
boys.
We don't ask questions.
I don't need to
Yeah.
know where the boots come from. I just need to know how much you need for them.
So got me a new set of ostriches and a nice box of crinkle cuts on the way home. Life's good, man.
Oh, he works in retail. I forgot about that.
Coming in clutch.
Gosh,
knew-
I
I
bought
knew
a
it
pair. I bought a pair of American-made
China.
leather like shoes from a real like cobbler about 5 years ago, and
Yeah.
they'll set you back
How
$500.
tall was he? How tall was he?
The guy?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like, was he a real cobbler? They're like 4'6".
I think you're
No,
thinking
it's-
Keebler.
Oh, it's
Keebler.
different.
Dude,
Cobblers are elves.
if you want them made in America, they'll cost you. Those cost me $460.
You had to raise and fucking feed the goddamn cows to get the leather, bro.
Yeah, well, they'll last for 10 years. So
Schaus says the Amazon trucks down in Oklahoma are getting hit like crazy. I suppose
Well,
it's
that's
the
what I
They
holidays.
may
from.
be.
Because those are nice boots, Nakotas.
Yeah, man.
Just
I
look
don't.
'em
I don't.
up.
I mean,
They're between
For what I-
200
for what I got in them right now.
$1,000.
that's
well,
good.
I couldn't get the other ones resold for what I got in these, so
Yeah,
I'm good.
So you couldn't
Doesn't
afford
matter.
not to do it, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, I had to.
Oh, shit. yeah. We're gonna see on the news that coach knocked over an Amazon truck. Here's
Yeah.
me
Yeah.
in the Home Depot.
They're gonna
parking lot.
SWAT
Yeah.
team your 5th grade class tomorrow.
Yeah,
You're gonna get
absolutely.
swatted
Yeah.
at school.
He's got 74
hey,
more boxes
yeah.
of boots behind him.
Chris, I can't believe you're not on the breaking news here. Hunter Biden charged with 9 federal tax crimes.
What?
Breaking
Only
news.
9?
This is for escaping politics, man. We got to talk sports.
Yeah.
Without-
the middle of it too. 7-3 right now.
Without Tom
Listen.
Brady, Bill Belichick is
They-
81 and 98 all
The
time.
dadgum defense
wait,
is going
wait.
to have to score here.
How much? What is he without Brady again?
Without Tom Brady, Bill Belichick is 81 and 98 all time, 45 and 54 with the Patriots, 23 and 26 at home. Those are all sub 500. This team
Your
is
next
10
coach,
10 games
of the-
under 500 since he left. Where's he
your
going, John?
Panthers.
Ooh. I keep hearing Chargers.
He's
Yeah.
what, 14, 15 wins away from the
The
record.
Chargers don't like paying people. And I think Tepper and Carolina is like he's that arrogant
He's a hedge
CEO
fund dude.
type who's like give me the best guy, and he gets the guy who's washed up, but he doesn't mind paying.
Yeah.
That's my
he
guess.
might. He might.
Yeah,
No, we're on Dakota now. We're in Dakota Blue Pack now.
Ariats is dead to us.
Yeah, they're dead to
Hey,
us.
listen,
They-
man.
They,
I like-
they might as well be fucking Bud Light now.
brought to you by
Dakota,
Dakota.
baby. If you don't
I'm
get
not
your
gonna lie
beat
to you,
fucking
man.
Home Depot parking lot, you suck.
We're in
man,
Dakota family now.
I started throwing rocks at the Ariats pretty hard after they came apart on me, but then I got to
Well, they
thinking.
gave you a decade.
They made it to 10 years, so which is
I'm a Red Wing guy.
more than a couple of marriages I've had. So
Yeah, I made it through 2 marriages. That's not bad. You probably pay fucking $30 for those at fucking Atwoods 12 years
Yep.
ago.
you talking about those Ariats?
Yeah,
Oh, you damn right. I got them on sale. I'll tell you
yeah,
that.
I know you
I don't
did.
buy
You
shit.
just
ain't
never
on sale.
buy anything full price.
No,
You're looking at
if it's not
Coach
on
is the
sale, I
guy
don't
that
even
is
look at it.
fucking. Coach is the guy in the supermarket that grabs a fucking can of beans, throws it on the ground, and asks for a fucking discount. That is Coach. You ever went out and you go shopping with Coach? Shit, he'll.
How
run
much
his
for the
wife over
dinged
something.
beans?
Yeah.
How much for the dinged beans?
Hey, these ones are all jacked up.
Sir, there's 1,000 more you could choose from. No, I want these.
Oh man. sorry to swoop in like that, guys. I got excited because I got these ostriches. I might pull these out tomorrow and wear them to school. I don't even know.
Oh, you gotta.
New
You
boot
got it.
goofing. All right.
That's it. New boot goofing.
3 payments. Genuine ostrich. I love that. Well, should we pivot to financial crimes?
Yeah, let's scroll
Speaking
down to
of-
this
speaking of
Jaguars embezzlement. Now, okay, John, I didn't look too much into this because I figure you can explain it to be better than the article could. I just have the basic information that a Jaguars employee, he's going to prison anyway. He stole over $20 million from the team, and I think he bought a condo with a credit card.
A Tesla
What in the-
condo.
What in the Tallahassee Common Core is going on here?
Yeah. So actually, this was a little bit of a topic of conversation with the coworkers today in the old finance wing. And to be honest, everybody's a little impressed. This is not something you can really get away with in today's corporate society where you need permission to wipe your ass. So hats off to them for pulling this off. And what I came up with is basically, so they say it's credit card, and a lot of corporations use what's called a P card or a procurement card. Because I don't know what kind of credit card you can get that can rack up 22 mil that just gets paid off without somebody in accounts payable signing off on it and looking at it. So he probably either used a procurement card or they had a pretty stout slush fund that he was dipping into as well. That kind of goes
position?
FP&A manager, financial planning and analysis. It's a title I have held. So either there are no controls, internal controls, as they say in the biz, at the lovely Jacksonville Jaguars organization, or Shad Khan has himself a pretty crazy slush fund that somebody could just siphon from without noticing. Because if you think about it, if they've got this huge pool of money that nobody asks questions about because they don't want anybody asking questions about, that's exactly what I would hit if I were in charge of all that. Just like, yeah, if you're not going to account for 22 million or every month this doesn't get looked at, yeah, I'm going to siphon off a little bit. Now, it said he started in 2019, which means this dude was hitting it hard from the get-go. And still, even all of the things I outlined, it's shocking that he could get away with that, even if it was a slush fund, even if there are no controls. Somebody at some point at a higher level, a CFO, a president of operations, is looking at this and wondering, okay, where did the $22 million go? So shame on the Jacksonville Jaguars, but also pretty impressive. But at the end of the day, you're going to get caught no matter. I mean, this isn't $1,000 every week over a course of 40 years that everybody's used to seeing.
$5.5 million a year for 4 years.
Yeah. So I really hope that we find out how exactly he got away with it, but we won't, because it's the NFL. And I would imagine they all have slush funds. Oh, this guy needs to take a private jet somewhere. This guy, we need to fly in a coaching search candidate, something like that. They've probably got a pool of money that they don't ask questions about. Now, I think a lot of NFL teams are like, do we have that? Can we take a look at that?
Yeah. The Packers have a gigantic slush fund of hundreds of millions. I don't think they've ever said how much is in there, which they don't have to, I guess. I don't know where it comes from. I guess they build sledding hills with it.
Well, everybody who buys stock that money has to go somewhere.
Yeah. The stock slush fund, boy.
I just thought this was interesting because, one, if you're the Jaguars, you either nip this in the bud before it becomes $22 million, or you keep it quiet because it looks terrible. Now, I get it that the FBI is involved, but they didn't do a good job of stamping this one out.
No, it took a bit long. I mean, it's incredible that no one would know. I mean, I guess he was the only guy. He was the guy who was supposed to catch the guy who was stealing.
There's got to be other heads that roll. I don't know how you can get away with this on your own. Either somebody was wildly looking the other way and just didn't understand, or they were in on it too.
Like in casino, you're either too stupid to do the job or you were in on it. Either way, we got to let you go. Did you know over 50 different quarterbacks have started an NFL game this season? Over 70 have thrown a pass. I guess that counts like wide receivers and Derrick Henry and shit. But how, with all the rules in place to keep these quarterbacks on the field, are they constantly popping up blue tents like they're selling sweet corn every week? Another quarterback, another household name. Now we got, I was looking at the list. It's not pretty. It's not.
It's all the stars, basically. It's ugly.
Yeah, now we got, I already forgot his name, Joe Burrow's replacement.
Oh, yeah. He's out.
Jake Browning. Is that it? Yeah. Browning, like the rifle. The red rifle? The brown rifle?
Similar. Yeah, now the Jags might be trotting out a backup quarterback for the playoffs. It's ugly. I the only thing I could think of is a 17-game season.
Yep. And it's
They
going to
say
go
it's a high ankle sprain and he'll be back.
Okay.
They haven't
It
even
did
ruled
not
him
look
out
good.
this week.
No, it did not look like a high ankle sprain.
Yeah.
I didn't see it. I was in bed by then. But as soon as RG3 landed in that swimming pool, I knew the Jags were going to lose. And then I saw Cincinnati come out in the all-white uniforms, and it was over before it began.
By the
way,
lie to you, I was a little disappointed when I saw those white uniforms come out too. I was like, oh man.
Ooh,
Oh.
yeah.
I
Those are
don't
good.
believe
That's a
they've
clean
ever
look.
lost to those.
No, it's
I'm having a hard time believing the damn Steelers are losing right now.
It's made gambling very hard. I'll say that. And
Trubisky's terrible.
Yes,
Trubisky
Trubisky's.
sucks.
Yeah. There's a reason he always ends up on the bench.
that was a bad
I feel
draft
a
pick,
little
John.
bit. I feel a little bit embarrassed that I wagered on Trubisky tonight. I mean, I wished I would have thought about it a little bit harder. Now
Wait,
that
who'd you bet?
Trubisky,
What? Tell me your bet. What'd you do?
Steelers.
I've got the
points in the under?
Steelers laying 5.5 and the under at 30.
Yeah.
Which the
I
under was a lock. We knew that.
I took the Pats at +12, and the under at 36.
I saw you teased it to like Pats +27 or something.
Pretty soon the math won't be able to math, and the Steelers won't be able to win by 6.
Laying
and
120
stay
to
under.
win 101.
I hate it when you have the under and then your team gets down because you're like,
Yeah.
God, how many points can get scored here before we're
Yeah.
fucked either
Yeah.
way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can
Oh,
barely
yeah.
afford for them to catch up.
Well, and a touchdown in this game is pretty much like a nail in the coffin because, and now you just got to hope that the dadgum Steelers just are the field goal kickers good and warm.
Yeah.
They can just
Well,
start
they can
banking
kick
them
two
in.
more, and that's it.
You get it to 14. That's what they
Yeah.
call insurmountable. By the way, congrats, Mike Evans, 10 straight 1,000-yard receiving seasons. Only
Wow.
Jerry Rice has more with 11. He says he
Wow.
wants to get 11.
How old is he, Eric?
That's a great question. I wonder if he's 30.
Oh,
He's
wow.
gotta
Gotta
be.
be 30.
He's got to be 30. You're on mute.
Not
Coach.
Mike Vans, Mike Evans. Yeah, he's 30 exactly.
30 years old.
Oh, wow.
August 21st,
He'll
93.
make it. He'll make it.
Yeah. He'll probably surpass Jerry.
He's younger than Hopkins and Keenan Allen, so he could do 11, maybe 12 as long as Baker stays there. Baker's going to throw him the ball 175 times a season.
Well,
Billy Zapp, is that who I'm watching right now?
Bailey.
Billy Zapp, no Bailey Zapp.
Billy.
Bailey likes to drink soda.
Hey, Mitch Trubisky looks scared back there, brother.
He is.
Yeah, he doesn't belong out there.
Just
That's
go to
his
the
MO.
Wildcat here.
Yeah.
Just line up. Steelers ought to just go with the Wildcat. Oh,
They
Jesus,
picked
another
him.
pick.
I had called that too.
Yep. Jalen Warren would be a great back to run the
I had him
Wildcat
for
with.
2. I had him for 2 picks.
God,
this game.
Trubisky's terrible.
Yep.
Yeah, he is.
You're terrible.
Yeah, he is.
Trubisky.
You're terrible, Mr. Trubisky.
John's like, yeah, that was my life. for a long
Seen it
time."
well. Seen it real well.
Did you guys see the altercation during the Eagles 49ers game between Big Dom and Drake
Dom.
Greenlaw? Big Dom
Whoa.
is the head of security at the link.
enforcer.
He's also special advisor to the GM as well as food and dining consultant for the network crews. Big Dom wears a lot of hats. Earlier in the game, the guy Chris Collinsworth was talking about how this guy Big Dom, the head of security, recommended a restaurant. And it was a great restaurant. Oh, Big Dom's a great guy. Then like 20 minutes later, Dre Greenlaw decides it's a good idea to suplex Devonta Smith into the ground right next to the sideline. And then, of course, a scuffle breaks out, and Big Dom, full name Dom DeSandro, ends up, trying to break it up. And Dre Greenlaw brushes his face with his hand, and they call it a punch and kick him out of the game. And then they decide, well, if we kick Greenlaw out, we got to kick out Big Dom. I'm not sure why, but he's also got to go. So then the place goes nuts. They love Big Dom. He's a He's a local legend at this point. And then the 49ers scored 6 straight touchdowns on 6 straight possessions. So it didn't really have the desired effect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm starting
49ers
to
are really good.
I'm starting to really be out on the Eagles just purely from having lived there for a couple years. I think they've jumped the shark with just the identity of being the white trash of the Northeast. And we've got this big, fat Italian guy that has a role that no NFL team should have. And he's getting in the middle of things. Dude, it's an NFL game. There are referees. You don't need a bouncer. But that is so Philadelphia. We're going to do things different. We're going to be harder. We're going to be tougher. It's like, you know what? They got referees, and I'm pretty sure there's police around. You don't need some dude sticking his nose into the player's face.
Nope.
I don't know. There's so many guys in Philly that are just like Big Dom.
You're going to hear about the Big
I will
Dom.
tell you, they are one loss away this weekend from coming back to reality in a hard way.
Mhm.
The talk on, a pretty
They're not even
serious
favored
talk here on local sports radio is people hating on Hurts, talking about, that's a real talk, and and people are saying it nationally too. I don't
Carr
know
said
why.
they
are.
I think it's been great.
Oh gosh, David Carr's a jackass. But first of all, Hurts is a stud. They got a great offensive line. The problem is
I agree.
their brain left, and now he's coaching for the Colts. And guess what? The Colts look great with a shitty team.
Yeah.
That's a big problem.
Steichen's a coach of the year candidate at this point.
Yeah, gosh, they got Gardner Magic or whatever you want to call it, Minshew Magic, and it's working. The guy knew X's and O's, and I think the only reason they've been in a lot of those games is because of Jalen Hurts and that offensive line.
Yeah,
That's the brain drain that happens after a Super Bowl. It sucks, and the only team that seems to be able to handle that is because they have Andy Reid.
That might be the worst sports take I've ever seen said on television or in a radio. That was Jalen Hurts should be benched for Marcus Mariota, who we know.
I saw that today. I couldn't believe it.
It sounds like something Mike Greenberg would
Could
say.
not believe it.
Yeah,
that was
terrible.
terrible.
Dre Greenlaw was cool after the game. He said Dom, quote, seemed like a genuine guy, a guy everybody loved in the building. I hate that it escalated and went to that. It's nothing I've been part of or seen in a game. Oh, that's nothing I've been part of or seen in a game. Yeah. I guess
having Butterbean come in on the field. Yeah. I haven't seen Butterbean go on the field either.
That would be a great strategy, though. You have a guy down there who starts a little fight. Your guy gets kicked out. Who cares? They lose a player.
But that's the problem is they lost nothing, but Dre Greenlaw is a huge part of their defense. That's kind of what pisses me off.
Yeah. Yeah. That was not.
He's their goon. You don't get a goon.
You don't get to have it. We don't have a goon. Who said you could have goons? Who told you to put the bomb on?
Kenny Pickett looks like Morgan Wallen.
It must have been like Italy week or Italian Heritage Week or something.
I think it was.
The Eagles
yeah,
all had Italian flag patches on their hats. It was perfect. It was quite.
14 may be it. That may be what it takes tonight, boys.
Yep. I think that sounds like plenty. Let's do some NHL winners and losers from the first 2 months of the season. And by that, I mean, here's an article I stole from the Bleacher Report. Bruins, very good once again. First place, of course. The Rangers are the class of the Metropolitan Division. They look awesome, but they'll fade in the playoffs. They always do. 3 Hughes brothers, Jack, Luke, and Quinn, are all playing in the NHL and playing well. I guess this is a common thing because the Devils played the Canucks this week, marking the 9th time 3 brothers have played in the same game. This makes the 4 Russians scoring in the same game for the first time ever thing even weirder to me. How is this more common than 4 Russians scoring a goal?
Hockey's a hell of a sport. That's all I can say.
Yeah. Hockey is a hell of a sport.
Yeah, it's fun to watch. I can't figure out who's going to win the games just yet, but it is a good time to watch. Buffalo Sabres are a disaster. You can just go ahead and bet that they're going to lose pretty much every game. They were supposed to be on the cusp, and now they're just absolutely junk. Second worst in the Atlantic, 10-14. And 2, Steve Eisenman's plan is working like charm in Detroit. Adding Alex DeBrincat might be the best move of the offseason. And now they got Kane making his debut. So if he has anything left, I mean, that's just good for the locker room. I don't know how many teams that guy's played on, but I'm going to Google it. I bet it's
Kane?
8, at least.
Wait, what, you talking about Pat Kane? Patrick Kane?
Yeah.
Not many. Did he do something after the Blackhawks last year?
Wings, Blackhawks, and the EHC Beal New York Rangers. Wow. I guess he's not the journeyman I thought he was.
No, he was locked up in Chicago for a long time.
Wow. 2007 he was drafted.
Yep.
First overall.
Ooh.
I'd say living up to it. You're still a sought-after free agent, 14, 15 years later?
Yeah.
So you paid off on that. So go watch hockey. Never been a better time. And then like we were talking about before we started, in the ultimate low-T loser move, Ron DeSantis says he's setting aside $1 million from Florida's annual budget so they can sue that crooked-ass college playoff committee straight to hail. He made the announcement at a press conference at his budget proposal for next year.
Gosh, he's such a douche. I'm sorry. This guy is a dork. He's a Harvard dork like the rest of them.
I thought he was going to be like the fresh face of the Republican Party, but he is a bit.
Then you saw him smile like a goofy ass robot.
That's where he lost me.
He's
forever.
not human.
Yep.
He's just trying to play human.
Yep. That goofy picture with him in the rain boots was off-putting, but the robot smile that he did after he said he won't let me down. And I never believed someone less, honestly.
I've never seen a worse display of football than the Steelers are putting on right now. I mean, up front, all the way across the board. This is hot garbage.
It is. That's why we're doing this instead. I said, I don't think it matters that we're going to do the podcast during the game.
No.
It's going to be an ugly game.
You know, the last time we recorded, we all predicted Florida State would be on the outside looking in. And I think 20 minutes after we all logged off, we saw it play out in real time. Norvell took it about as good as you could take it, because I know there was a lot of college football coaches that could have said a lot of things, and he chose not to. And hats off to him. It's an unfair situation, and now they get to go get waxed by Georgia.
A consummate professional. Yeah.
Now, if somehow, some way they find a way to beat Georgia, that would be amazing. But unfortunately, I think they're walking into a buzzsaw.
Yeah. I don't know if they even care.
I don't know if their seniors are going to play. Why would you play if you're going to go into the draft?
They're not going to play. The Georgia players aren't playing.
No.
Florida State, half of Florida State's crew's not going to play.
I heard one take.
Give me
this,
my fucking
this
PS4 and we'll fucking leave, or PS7, whatever they're on now.
Yeah, give me my grab bag. I heard a take this week that said they should have done the Aaron Rodgers and said, no, he's coming back. Don't worry, he's coming back.
Fear not. Hey,
Yeah.
You know the thing about that is Florida State. You know, if they go out and they just get slaughtered, then the committee goes, yeah, see, we were right in that deal. And then if they go out and win the game, people go, well, Georgia didn't play their people. So it's really a terrible situation for Florida State.
Yeah,
no,
it can't possibly. And we almost forgot to talk about Bobby Petrino.
Yeah, he's back.
He's back, baby.
Was that not just a second, Coach? Was that not the easiest decision the committee should have ever made? You have 3 undefeateds that won their championship, and then the Big 12 and SEC champion that luckily they played already. So we already know it's Texas. Wasn't that the easiest? What was the thought process here? I mean, I know it's money, I know it's popularity, and I know it's Alabama's, we think, fairy fucking dust and unicorn farts. We think what might happen, but is it just money?
Oh, you couldn't allow the SEC to be cut out of that for all kinds of money situations. It just, you knew the SEC wasn't getting cut out, even if it was the right thing to do. And then when they come out and say, well, this is a better situation, or however they tried to say it. It was crap. And I go back to the fact of, I thought Stephen A. Smith made a great point. Deion's coaching Florida State. You think they're left out? Doesn't happen.
No,
Doesn't happen.
They couldn't.
No. I mean, they
couldn't.
There would be. I mean, it just doesn't happen. And to me, that's what makes it ridiculous.
That's a great point.
Because we have 2 points. We have 2 arguments. I mean, and I had this discussion today. I understand that at some point you have to move on and you have to take care of business against Georgia, which, like I said, the point I just made, you win that, they say, well, Georgia rested their people. You go out and get smoked. Well, see, we were right. So Florida State's in a bad way all the way around. But what was right is them being able to get in, like we talked about. And that you beat everybody on your schedule, you should punch a ticket over anyone who has a loss, period. But it's funny that we're not making the same argument for the Liberties of the world.
I know.
I mean,
there's this element of subjectivity that's always been a part of it. Like, be real.
Absolutely.
And
and let's go back to what was it, Central Florida, who claimed a national title. I mean, you're right, John. You're right.
Yeah. I'm glad they made the tough decision, though, because I don't think Florida State can hang with them. So I'm not upset. I think it's funny. I think they made this mess and it blew up in their face because they're dumb with 5 power conferences and 4 spots. You've heard it a million times if you listen to any sports radio. Mm-hmm. It's just, how dumb do we need the NCAA to make everything? And they've made it right by expanding it. And I don't care what anybody says. Oh, there's always going to be somebody left out. No, that's not true. If you're number 13 and a 12 team or whatever it is, fuck off. You didn't do nearly enough.
Nobody's making the argument for you.
No, I don't care. I don't care if it is undefeated Liberty. If you're left out, if you're not in the top 12, sorry, just suck it up.
Yeah.
So
I
fixed it.
agree with you there. I think the bigger argument on the horizon here is this NIL deal that is out of control. I mean, the NIL situation that in college football that has been created. And I will tell you, it's even washed down to the high school level now, because the OSSAA here in Oklahoma came out and said that you can have a one-time transfer to any high school for no reason. No questions asked. And so, I mean, here we go.
I'm not getting my minutes. I'm out.
With the high school transfer portal, I mean, it's just, there's no regulation over the transfer portal. There's no regulation over NIL deals. It's the Wild West of everything. And I believe it when, Matt Rule comes out and says, oh, we want to go get a top tier quarterback out of the transfer portal. That's going to cost you $1 million. $1 million. I mean, I don't think he's wrong. Right. I mean, Saban was asked today about the Ohio State guy wanting to charge $50,000 just to take a visit. And he's like, well, I'm unaware that's going on. But you know what he said? He didn't say no. He said, this is what we've become. And now that we've become this, we'll do what we have to do to be competitive.
Yep.
So is everybody else. The game heats up. It became professional and I find it comical that we have athletes that are still, I mean, Heavy's right. Marvin Harrison, 25 mil to come back. They told him, hey, we'll match what you'd make in the NFL. Just come back another year. That stuff's happening.
Beat Michigan.
Shit.
Yeah.
Well, you know what's really, if you were to just take a step back and be completely unbiased, how much money has been left on the table for the last 40 years? Oh. If this is really the market, 25 mil.
If they can really just come up with that as an opening salvo offer.
I mean, that just proves the point that somebody was making a ton of money.
Yeah, you could just lose 22 million, not even notice it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, there's a
be
lot
the Jacksonville
on the table.
Jaguars. Yeah. And now they're starting to talk about organizing that so the colleges can be directly involved and have a pool of money, whatever. This has always
Really?
been a dumpster fire. Yeah, that was just this
Well,
week.
is
They're
just they're gonna
starting to
break
discuss it.
they're gonna break off from the schools and just be a minor. It's just gonna be another league
Yep.
or what?
And
What are they doing?
that'd be fine. Honestly, that would help all the conference realignment and stop screwing over all the other real like normal sports. Like I don't
Yep.
think women's gymnastics at UCLA needs to be flying all the way to Rutgers. It really would fix a lot of things because let's be honest,
Well, that's gonna be
you know,
expensive.
a lot of tax dollars are getting used to pay for college coaches, and there's
Yeah.
just a weird dichotomy that's happened over the last 20 years that's now making it pretty unsustainable as a model.
It's a mess. I don't understand it. And you know, as far as helping kids, let's talk about that. So now your Oklahoma, Oklahoma State, any of your college teams in any state, they're going to the transfer portal, and that's where they're doing their fishing. They're not recruiting kids out of high school anymore.
Yeah,
because why would you?
let the big
Why
guys
would you
do
get
it.
a kid out of high school that you've got to put through 2 or 3 years? Go get your guy out of transfer portal from a JUCO or from another college that is already proven. You don't have to invest anything in that. And so, like I tell the people that have benefited most from that are your D2s and your JUCOs, places like that now high school kids, you have to change your thought process. It's no more D1. That's not an option unless you're the top 2% or the elite. You're not getting a scholarship. Little Johnny is not getting a scholarship to OU or OSU because they're going to go get somebody out of the portal.
Yeah.
And I think what really is going to start happening is money is going to be at a premium, and actually winning a championship is not going to be the most important thing anymore. There's money to be had.
Yeah.
You don't need to win at Ohio State if Oregon's going to pay you $20 million, or UCLA, or hell, Arizona State. They, and don't tell me Texas A&M isn't going to have a shit ton of money to be throwing at people. And let's be honest too, you're not going to win a national championship with portal guys, because the teams that win national championships are guys that have juniors and seniors that have been there for 2 to 3 years and know how to play with each other. Just look at Colorado. Dumpster fire. They'll get better, but you can't assemble the Avengers in the transfer portal because it's a team sport, and it doesn't quite work that way.
Yeah. And speaking of finding somebody in the portal, old Bobby Petrino back at Arkansas. And to recap, he was head coach of the Arkansas football team, started a relationship with a girl on the volleyball team, hooked her up with a job working for the football team after she graduated. All this kept it very quiet until he crashed his motorcycle with her on the back of it.
Oh gosh.
And exposed the entire thing. And then he did a presser with a neck brace on. Road rash
All-time presser.
I mean,
She was fine,
10,
by the way.
A top 10 all-time sports photo. Yeah, she's fine. That's why
she was fine. He was wearing a neck brace. Did a presser on a motorcycle crash that no one ever actually saw a photo of the motorcycle.
Now
the word on the street was the word on the street was he got tuned up by her man.
Oh. That would make a little.
And it was a big. They had to come up with something, so it was the motorcycle accident.
Oh,
that's pretty well known in Fayetteville.
That's awesome.
She was hooked up with a strength and conditioning coach, too.
Oh no,
on the side or something, and he pretty much got worked over.
The strength and conditioning coach, he's built like a brick shithouse every time. I mean, you see him come out with the team. He's got a handlebar mustache. Every school has that guy. You don't want to bang his wife. Don't do that. Or even his girlfriend.
Well, it was
Pittsburgh just stopped playing defense.
But I'll tell you this: the guy does know football.
Yep,
he knows football.
If you win games,
not a bad coach.
You'll have a job.
He's
No,
been
and
to
I
Louisville
like how
twice.
Sam came out and handled it because they came right after him over it. They came right after him and asked him, what are you doing hiring this guy back? and he pretty much said, this is pretty much what he said. This guy being on our staff is what's good for the Arkansas football team, and that's what I get paid to do. That's it. Next question.
Yeah. I mean,
He's like, if it blows up, then I'll suffer the consequences. But right now, this guy being on our staff makes us better. I went, I can get on board with that.
Can't argue with that. That there's a true statement. One last thing right before we started. Are they gonna put the new stadium, John, in the south, in the stadium or in the Soldier Field South parking lot?
They better
Because
not.
they're doing their due diligence on that.
Jesus,
That makes no
this
sense.
game's over.
So you tear down a
game's over.
monstrosity, you build another piece of crap small stadium in the most taxed area you could possibly. No, they're going out to the suburbs because they should. I think the city of Chicago is doing some backdoor deals, and they're throwing some crazy numbers at them to make them think twice about it.
Yeah. Classic.
Also, get in line because every suburb is out there just waiting with their pitch book.
Yep. Build it here. We'll put a parking lot up.
We got bigger problems though. I mean, nobody gives a shit about a stadium right now. We've got a president of football operations that has to make a real big decision on a GM and a head coach coming up, and he honestly shouldn't be thinking about stadiums. We got bigger fish to fry, so we'll see. There's a lot of chatter about what's going to happen.
We shall see, and we shall talk about it.
One more thing, the reason it's a big deal too, and why there's a little bit of intrigue in this is obviously the big candidate right now is Jim Harbaugh, and we know Jim Harbaugh is basically bumped up against every authority figure he's ever encountered, and our president used to be the commissioner of the Big Ten. So we'll see if that's a match made in hell or not. If that's a match that gets made or not. So it's kind of interesting. I don't know if those two can play nice, because I know Jim Harbaugh isn't going to come in and say yes to a lot of things he doesn't want to say yes to. So we'll see.
We're going to find out sooner rather than later on that, because I saw today Michigan is coming after him with a 6-year extension and a no leave to the NFL clause to make him some kind of ridiculous offer that he puts in writing that he won't leave.
Yeah, maybe. I honestly, I think if he wins the whole thing, he leaves, because honestly, why wouldn't you?
I think so
at
too.
that point. I think you're right. He's the case for building a program the right way, and he's built it up to as best as he can. And honestly, it comes down to the players at this point, obviously play calling and all that, but he's done everything he can. He's beat Ohio State 3 times. He's won the Big Ten 3 times. And if he wins a national championship, I don't know why you don't pursue something else if there's something else on your mind.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. And I think there would be nothing better that he would love is to be able to, coach in the league with his brother. That definitely, I think, is something that he would like to do.
Flip the Big Ten, the bird.
Yep.
Yeah. If he wins it all, he puts a natty at Michigan and goes down as, one of the greats there, which is what he wanted, and walks out of there on top of his game and rolls in for a new challenge. You're right. But my wonder is what happens if he doesn't win it? Does he come back and try it again? Or, I mean, yeah. I don't know. It's wild.
Yeah. We'll find out on the next episode.
Well, Pittsburgh went to the reverse now.
Right, well, that's a sure sign it's time to get out of here. Thank you, everyone, for listening. We appreciate all the kind words, reviews, and participation. Catch us on Sunday morning for Wake and Rake on the Fantasy Sports Corporation YouTube channel so you can win all your wagers and or fantasy leagues. Go over to patriotsportsnow.com for all of our latest goings on. Go to cannablumpharmacy.com. Use code PSR for 10% off of your order. Till next time, be good to each other. Chris, kick the outro music.
You've been listening to Patriot Sports Radio. If you're sick of all the national talking heads and biases of mainstream sports media, like we are, this show is for you. We hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to like, rate, and review. And we'll be back soon. For more content and merch, hit up www.patriotsportsnow.com. Find us on Twitter at PatriotsPod, on Instagram and Facebook at Patriot Sports Now, and on Getter, Rumble, and YouTube at Patriot Sports. Take care, and we'll see you next time.